Yeah, so let's go through some pros and cons of living in Las Vegas as compared to living in Southern California. I've lived in both. I grew up in Southern California in Irvine and went to UCLA. So let's go through it one by one. Here we go. In Southern California, there's obviously the beach. There are also the mountains and the desert not far away. Las Vegas, obviously no beach, but it has mountains and desert and national parks nearby like Zion and Grand Canyon. Southern California has crowds. It's crowded everywhere. Vegas, a lot of open space, wide roads. Parking is usually free and easy access to parking. Unlike Southern California, mostly paid parking. Food. Of course, Southern California has amazing food, and LA has so many choices. But in Las Vegas, all the chefs from around the world have restaurants here. Why? Because they appeal to the high dollar international American and international crowd. So they have to have top quality food, and that's why the chefs are here. Taxes, that's a favorite of everybody. Income tax in California, as you know, what, 10, 20% at least. There's no tax on income in Nevada, zero tax on income. Sales tax, yes, we have sales tax. In California, it depends on where you live. As you know, LA County is more than you live in the rural areas, but let's say 9 to 11%. Las Vegas is 8.3% sales tax. That's actually higher than other parts of Nevada, but Clark County, they get you. It's a 4% of Nevada and 4% for Clark County. So it's 8.3%. That's income tax, not income tax. Sorry, it is not income tax, it's sales tax. Okay, property tax. Well, as you know, in California, property tax you cannot generalize because if you've lived in your house for a long time, as compared just bought $1 million home, property tax will be higher, obviously, in the new home you just bought. But Las Vegas, I can tell you, for all homes, it's under 1% per year, so like 0.8% of the value of your home per year. So it's pretty low. Car insurance, that's one of the few things I would say is expensive here in Las Vegas. Car insurance is around $2,000 to $2,500 for an average car, depending on your policy and who you are and so forth. But it's higher than most other places. Home prices, well, as a realtor, I can definitely tell you about this. Homes here, the median price of a single family home in Las Vegas is $460,000 median price. Average price around $600,000. Well, that's much less than Los Angeles. I would say we're one half of the price of homes in Los Angeles. So great value for housing. Okay, for the next topic, how about culture? This one is easy to generalize on. There's more cultural choice. There are more cultural choices in Southern California, for sure, with the museums and concerts and so forth. But Las Vegas is an entertainment world capital, so a lot of entertainers come here. Sports, all kinds of fun, as you know. That's why a lot of LA people come here every weekend. So culturally, I would say LA is stronger, but as far as entertainment and choices and concerts, Vegas is comparable and really good. Vegas is very centralized on the strip. So once you come to the center of Vegas, whether you fly or drive, everything's right there. You can eat, sleep, and go to the concerts in a convenient, centralized area. LA obviously is spread out and it's not quite so convenient. So you might have to go to Orange County for one event and then go to the Getty Museum on the other side of town. Okay. And as far as airports, LAX as opposed to LAS, which is the Las Vegas International Airport, going in and out of LAX is not fun. So that's I can generalize. LA is just not a fun place to go to the airport. Las Vegas, is very central. It's a nice airport. It's convenient. People like to fly in and out of it. It's kind of fun when you land and you see the slot machines at the airport. So I would definitely rate the experience of Las Vegas Airport higher. And also costs for Uber are less because everything's close. So what would you say about the people in the two different places and what they think of each other? Um, I know a lot of people in Southern California or California in general, they say that Vegas is either hot or Sin City. Um, and then that's okay. That's one downside, they would say. And then Vegas people don't want too many Californians here, primarily because it brings up the costs of everything, but also because of the politics. I think Vegas people just, whatever your politics are, they do pride themselves in independence, kind of a Wild West, former Wild West attitude that you don't feel when you're in LA. So, what about distances? I kind of mentioned it, but in LA, it's nothing to go 30, 40, 45 minutes to an hour to go somewhere to a store. Here, almost all the stores are 20, 25 minutes away maximum. So convenience factor. You can cross town from southwest to where I live to Henderson on the other side of town in 25 minutes, half an hour. It's just no comparison in that sense. Of course, Vegas is big, over 2 million people, but LA is like 5 times as big. So, okay, let's see. How about the weather? Well, yes, it's hot here in the summer, but it's cold here in the winter. Spring and fall are beautiful. We don't have any humidity. In California, if you live near the beach, it could be foggy. It's definitely more humid. So, and you have less sunshine. So, for activities, for golf, for being outdoors, hiking, um, it's really Las Vegas overall is at least comparable. Now, what about medical treatment? I would definitely say LA has the advantage there because you have the universities, the hospitals, the research. You can't compare that. Vegas has pretty good medical care, but the number of doctors can't keep up with the population increase of, like I said, over 2.3 million people here now. So they're trying to get more doctors and nurses here, and med schools are full. Um, but yes, you can't. I would say medical care for sure is better in LA, but it's not bad here. It's just better in LA. Okay, access to nature nearby. LA is pretty strong in this. It's not too far away. But what you may not realize is Las Vegas has trails all around in the mountains nearby. For example, Red Rock is like 30 minutes on the western side of town. How about the example of sports? I'll pick golf and tennis. Over here, in Las Vegas, there are way over 20 golf courses. Some of them are not, most of them are not expensive, easily accessible, close by, and just a lot of fun. A lot of people come here just for golf vacations. Same with the tennis courts, are all over town and not very expensive. LA also has a lot of golf courses, maybe not quite as many around the town and more expensive. So that's one example. So how about just living how about the name brands? What I would call name brands, like food stores and restaurants that you're familiar with in Southern California, they're the same here. Most of them are available in Las Vegas. It's kind of interesting. What you like in Vegas, you'll be able to find here. And most have shops that are similar, the same, or have owners that opened up here from LA. Same with the Asian food. Asian food is really good here. Not quite as big, obviously, as the communities in LA, but you name it, you'll be able to find it here. Same with the grocery stores, international grocery stores. What about the small town feel? That obviously LA doesn't have a small town feel, but Las Vegas does. I was kind of surprised when I moved here that things in the news you wouldn't necessarily see in a big town, a big city, like a new Costco is opening or a new Italian restaurant opening on the strip. It just seems like kind of small, not that significant pieces of news, but here it's a big deal in a big city. It wouldn't be like that. What about diversity? It's obviously LA is very diverse, but so is Las Vegas, the biggest community. If you look at diversity statistics, racial statistics, and so forth, you'll see Hispanic is the largest percent of people. And then after that would be Caucasian white. After that would be Black, Asian, and then Hawaiians and uh, Pacific Island areas. And so that's the mix, and same with the schools. Speaking of schools, the schools here in Las Vegas do not rate that highly, but then neither do the schools in Los Angeles. So I haven't done a full comparison of LA County schools, but if you go on the greatschools.org and you can look yourself and see what ratings you get. Here they're around 6 out of 10 in that national rating, so you can compare yourself. But schools are okay, and some are better than others. Most are not that highly rated. Um, what about getting around in the city here? I know LA has some public transport now too, and so does Las Vegas. We're still really car dependent, I would say, but it's getting better with the Elon Musk, for example, is building underground transportation all around Las Vegas. There are already several stops, and there'll be more. And they're looking at different rail and bus solutions. So anyway, that's kind of it. I think you would have a great time here, or you can, if you're in LA, come over here and see those differences. I'd love to show you more and some of the highlights and places you ought to go by, restaurants, shops, and some good Thai food. Contact me. I am, like I said, I am a realtor. I'm Martin Gualioni from eXp Realty. 702-708-1888 is my cell phone number. You can call, text, or email me too. I got my information below. Thanks. Bye.